Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome to another great product spotlight video brought to you by Mount Baker Vapor as usual. So we got some cool stuff to look at today, some new goodies from Vaporesso, device I'm pretty excited about. That I feel is kind of going to meet this need that exists out there. You know, we want a good single battery mod, something nice and compact. Something, you know, if you're not into that pod style device that offers you that screen with the adjustable wattage and everything, and it's gonna put out a decent amount of vapor. You know, there's some devices like this that I've seen that are really nice, really compact, that use a tank as well. And, you know, they've got that built-in battery. Not everybody enjoys having a built-in battery. You know, some people want to carry around, you know, a couple of pre-charged batteries and just be able to swap them in and out. And, you know, if that's your thing, you've come to the right place. I think I've got something for you. So what are we talking about here? We are talking about the Vaporesso Armour Pro Kit. Looks pretty cool. Got a nice little black version here. I think it's upside down. Yeah, it's upside down. That's what it looks like right side up. So we're gonna do what we always do. We're gonna go ahead and dive down, take a closer look, and see what's inside. All right, and here is our up-close look at the Vaporesso Armour Pro. And I know it's a simple little thing, but I really kind of like the design they used on this box. Really nice looking little box from Vaporesso, who always makes quality stuff. I mean, you know, what I really have been digging about Vaporesso is that, you know, maybe for the last year and a half, could be longer than that, but that I've noticed that they make good quality products, but they've gotten a lot more affordable recently. From my first memory of Vaporesso was that, yeah, they made some pretty awesome stuff. However, it seemed really expensive. Looks good though. You gotta love that nice bright box. But what we're really here to look at is what's inside. And inside, we have the Armour Pro mod. Comes in this little plastic case, which is kind of a pain in the ass to get this thing out of. At least you know it's in there, so when it ships, it gets to you in one piece. This one did have a protective film over this display screen here, which actually also doubles as your button. I took it off before the video, so you will have that on there. And you can just see it's a nice compact little device. Like I said, single battery. Nice 510 connection here. Talk about that a little bit more. Now this device, what really makes this a good device in my opinion is that you have options with the batteries. And I feel like devices that use more than one battery have actually been getting better and better. So we've got the option for a 21700 battery, a 2700 battery, and an 18650 battery. So if you've got those 21700 and 2700 batteries, you know, you're really gonna get better battery life out of this. But I mean, if you want to use an 18650, that's cool too. And it does come with an adapter. So if you open up your mod using the battery door at the bottom, which right off the bat to me felt a little, I don't know, a little jiggly, a little wiggly, and I opened it and wasn't really a fan at first, but once you put the battery in there, this thing is tight as tight can be. So here's the 18650 adapter here. If you want to use your 21700 or your 2700 batteries, you can just slide them right in. See if I got one of those laying around here. I'm sure I do. So yeah, we got the 21700, and you can see that, you know, that fits right in. I don't have a 2700 on hand, but I believe that just will fit in the same way without the adapter. If I'm wrong, comment below. Please correct me. We're here to educate each other. 21700 fits. And then you're always going to want to slide in this adapter. It's already in there, so if you're going to use an 18650, it's in there and ready to go. Obviously, only one side's open. Want to make sure that connection's facing up top towards positive. Positive is going in head first. Negative will be here at the base, and we just slide our 18650 in. It might seem a little wiggly, but it works. And this is actually one of the better ones that I've seen. Sometimes you get some of these battery adapters, and I've had it where it's a device that advertises you can use an 18650. You use the adapter, and then nothing. Like, I had nothing but problems. So far, all I've done is fire it up to take a look at the screen before we opened it up here, and it worked good, and it seems to be working now. No battery rattle, so once that door is engaged, you're pretty much good to go. You can see this whole thing's gonna be your display. It's a nice bright color display. You got the battery readout on there, you got your other readouts, and it just kind of popped up and showed me a little clock. I kind of just wanted to point out one thing before we keep going, that we're unboxing this together today. So this product literally just came in this morning. I really wanted to get this video done, so I ran back to our receiving department, grabbed one. I haven't had much time to play with it, so we're kind of learning together, but I've got some of the basics down. You can see the clock popped up. There's ways to set a clock there, so that's kind of cool. A little extra. I think I'll be really impressed when some of these people come up with a way, especially for these smaller mods, to like track it. Maybe like one of those little tile devices where you can kind of keep tabs on it all the time, because when it comes to smaller devices, not necessarily this, but say maybe like my OPS one, which I am still rocking, it'd be nice to have a way to find it. And speaking of the OPS one, you can kind of compare it. So this is a very small, compact pod style device, and you can see the size of the Armour Pro. Really, really compact. I am liking that. I mean, big box mods, yeah, if you're into that, they do serve their purpose, and I have some that are favorites, but I feel like there's so many good things out there now that we have just been able to improve upon existing technology and give us things that are more portable. I always compare them to kind of cell phones. Not that that's necessarily relevant now, because we got some pretty big phones out there. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool little device. Like I said, this is gonna be your fire button here. So this screen, that's clickable. Feels sturdy. I like the way it feels. Button's responsive. Don't have any wiggle on that button. You know, it doesn't feel like something, because it's kind of low profile, that I'm going to be able to press on accident. You can lock it with 3 clicks, but it's not going to sit in my pocket. Might get scratched up a little bit, but not too worried about that. You can leave that plastic film on there if you really want to. Yeah, that's something new, something different, and it feels good. So we got the Armour Pro mod that comes in the kit. That is a variable wattage mod, 5 watts all the way up to 100 watts. You can get 100 watts of output on this thing. Now it's a kit, so I'm sure you're wondering, well, what else does it come with? It is going to be paired with this guy right here. And this is the Cascade Baby Tank. I think this is the Cascade Baby SE. Nope, this is just a straight Cascade Baby Tank. So for those of you that are familiar with Vaporesso, they had a full-size Cascade tank, which is actually a pretty awesome tank. And I've noticed that as time has gone on, they've made some improvements on that tank and on the Baby SC and this Baby Tank as well. And you know, I gotta tell you, like, the construction on these feels much, much better than the original Cascade tanks. Do love the design and the concept of the Cascade tank. They also improved the top fill, so it used to just be a straight sliding top fill. Now they've added that extra level of security. You gotta push it, and then you kind of got to turn it. Finding the right way to turn it proved a little challenging. But you lift it, and you should be able to turn it. I'm going to stay here. There we go. So you are going to want to lift and then turn counterclockwise, and it opens up. And we got that pretty large single fill port on the top. Looks pretty good. You know, it kind of seems like a pain to try and figure out how to open that, but I much prefer that than having a top fill device with the, you know, the fill door that swings open and spills in my pocket. Got a 510 connection, or a 510 drip tip here. Wide bore 510 drip tip, pretty standard Delrin. I believe that's the only one that comes in the box, but that's really not the main focus of the tank here. I mean, it's pretty beefy. And one thing I like about using a 510 connection with some of these is that you know, you can crank up the wattage if you want, you get more vapor, but when they make a tank strictly with like a wide bore 810 drip tip, a lot of times the vapor can be overwhelming. So I feel like these items or the product might not be as versatile. So in my opinion, that's kind of nice. We've got that triple airflow at the bottom, which is adjustable. And I do love this airflow control ring. Very responsive. Really dial it in. And look at this color scheme, you know. We got this black with these gold accents. Got the gold accent here. Even this plate. So what I believe this plate is, and I've kind of seen this on a few other ones, is to help, it's supposed to help reduce heat. So it's supposed to kind of, I guess, like transfer the heat so that your device doesn't heat up too much, which is kind of nice. And I've been seeing on that on more and more tanks. Now this is what really sets this tank apart. So you can see here that if you look inside, all you can see is the chimney. You can't see a coil. This whole device will hold 5 mils. And you might be looking at that glass and thinking, that's not gonna hold 5 mils. You would be correct. Just like the larger version of the Cascade tank, we've got this chamber here in the bottom, this isolation chamber. And that's where the coil goes. So as you fill this, you know, the juice is gonna cascade down into this chamber. So it's gonna fill up with juice down there. And then you continue to fill it, you fill the tank, and as you use it, it slowly feeds into the coil, which is really nice. I don't have a coil just sitting in this juice all day getting gunked up. A little bit down here, but it's not completely submerged. Really good design. On my original Cascade tank, I got nothing but great flavor. Didn't really experience any dry hits. I think the thing that I really loved about the Cascade tank was also coil life. So with these, what do we have? Coil's a little different. With the original Cascade tank, it was a plug and pull style coil. And it looks like with the baby tank, they have chose to use some threads. This is the GT mesh coil that is going to come included inside the tank. And it is rated at 0.18, 50 to 85 watts. This looks very similar to the NRG GT coils. It does come with another coil, a C-cell coil in this box that you can use as well. So it looks like this tank was made to use the NRG coils. Maybe it uses the actual GT core coils that go with the Cascade tank, but I don't see how that would be possible because I don't believe those have threads. If you find out differently, like I said, please let me know. So yeah, definitely a good tank. I really got a good feeling about this. It seems like a good pairing. Let's screw this coil back in there. Go ahead and try this bad boy out. We're gonna want some juice. So you got some Spurburry lined up here. You know what? I grabbed the wrong bottle of Spurburry, I think. That's all right. So this one here is a 50-50 blend. I think I got the wrong one today. But I've been using some Spurburry. It's a good fruit flavor, nice and light, which is perfect for these hot summer days out here in Arizona, I tell you, because yeah, it gets pretty miserable around July. We get those monsoons, but you can see that this is definitely going to be a little too thin for this coil in this tank. 50-50 is usually best for pod styles and whatnot, and that was my bad. But we got it all nice and wicked up. And we'll screw this guy back on. All right. Really gonna need to start being a little more tidy. All right, throw the bottle back on that Spurburry, bottle cover, cap, whatever you want to call it. Alrighty. Getting some paper towels right now. I made a little bit of a mess. Thank you, sir. All right. So yeah, I mean, typically with tanks of this size, it's best to use a higher VG juice. Why? Because these coils wick so well that this isn't the same as, you know, a higher ohm coil that's going to have more cotton in it, or the cotton's not necessarily going to wick the same, the juice will be too thin on a device like this, and then you get leakage. Still really loving the way this thing looks together. And you know, there's no overhang on here. It fits on there really well. So this baby Cascade tank is definitely a good size for the Armour Pro device. Like I said, this is rated 5 to 100 watts. It's going to be 3 clicks on and off. On right now. I'm sorry, not 3 clicks, 5 clicks. 5 clicks, turns it off. 5 clicks, turn it back on. That button's really responsive too, which is nice. The other thing that kind of sets this device apart is that it's got a new chipset inside. So this has the upgraded version of Vaporesso's chipset, the Omniboard. This is the Omniboard 4.0. Last time I checked, they had a 2.0, which I believe was like in the Revenger kits. I think on the Polar that they had come out, it was the 2.5, and now we've got a 4.0. Some different modes in here. Also, really easy to navigate. So right here, you've got 3 buttons. Up top, kind of looks like a little face. These 2 up top are going to be your up and down navigation buttons, adjusting wattage, scrolling through the menu, whatnot. But right here, you've got a menu button, so you just hold that down. Oh, you click it 3 times. And it'll take you to a menu that looks like this. And from there, all you have to do is, there's no clicking or anything, you just scroll to what you want. We've got variable wattage high, variable wattage normal, variable wattage soft. There's a curve. And there's something that says SP with a little skull, and that is what Vaporesso is advertising as something called the super player mode, which is kind of interesting. So basically what that's going to allow you to do, I believe it incorporates some kind of power curve, but it lets you run this device and read down to 0.03 ohms all the way up to 5 ohms. So it really widens that range that your device can read at, if that's something you're looking for. There you go. I'm really not sure what you would use that for, but it's there if you want it. Back into our menu, 3 clicks. We've also got variable voltage, a voltage curve, stainless steel, nickel, titanium, and memory settings for temperature. Then if you want to exit, you just go back up, top, little home area, exit, and then click. And you can see we're in normal up there. It says variable wattage normal. So super easy to navigate, very straightforward, easy to use device. Right now we're reading at 5 watts. The GT mesh coil inside can go all the way up to 85. Crank this bad boy up. Let's crank it up. 75 watts. Screen runs, if you hold it down, long press, it runs in increments of 1 watt. But then you can also go by 0.5, 0.6 if you just click on it. Really smooth, doesn't move too quick, really nice. This is nice and smooth and easy to use. Add a little bit of juice in there now. Again, with the pulling and the twisting. So pull and twist counterclockwise. Just gonna add a little bit so we can vape on it. Some of that Spurburry. Just closes back up nice and tight. And that is the Vaporesso Armour Pro Kit. So let's go ahead and head back up, play around a little bit, vape on it, and see what it's all about. All right, so we got the black Vaporesso Pro Armour Kit. Yeah, Vaporesso Pro Armour Kit. And on top we've got the Baby SE tank. Looks really good. I got a nice little balance here. This tank is a perfect size for this device. Nice and compact. I just love the way this thing fills my hand. It's very ergonomical, and the finish on it is really nice too. It's got a really nice feel in your hand, and it feels like this is, you know, this is anodized. So this paint isn't just gonna like chip right off. You're not gonna accidentally scratch it. It feels pretty durable. I like the quality of the build. So got a little bit of that Spurburry juice in there. I only put a little bit. It was a little too thin, but good. That Spurburry juice got a nice light fruity flavor to it. Right now, I'm running at 75 watts. The GT mesh coil inside is rated for 50 to 85 watts. So let's go ahead and vape on it. Got it about a quarter of the way open on each of the airflows, which there are 3 of, and see what it's like. It's really good. It's really clean. I like the airflow. The airflow isn't very turbulent. It's nice and balanced. Not too overwhelming, although it's only a quarter of the way open. You can hear that. So the 0.4 chip, or I'm sorry, the 4.0 OmniBoard 4.0, Instafire. Almost no delay there. I'm sure it could be quicker, but it's not necessarily the drag mod. My drag mod hits like instantly, but fast. As soon as I press this button and take a drag, I'm getting vapor. And it's good. This is a really good mesh coil. If I sound surprised, it's because a lot of people are doing mesh coils, but not all of them are good. My favorite so far has been the Falcon's mesh coil, but I gotta say, this is pretty good. I kind of felt like maybe that was an afterthought on Vaporesso's part, but it doesn't seem to be that way. This seems to be a very well thought out kit that is going to be good on multiple levels for different users. Let's crank it up a little bit. I got my little clock going there again. So we're gonna crank it all the way up to 85 watts. All right. A little warmer at 85 watts, but it's a good warm. It's not hot vapor. Crank up that airflow about halfway. Nice, fluid, balanced airflow, like I said. Really good flavor. That Spurburry really comes through. Spurburry, if you haven't had it, it does have this very light, fruity flavor to me. It's almost like a fruit-flavored gum, and there's a little sweetness on the back end that kind of almost has a bubblegummy feel, but not overwhelming like some bubblegum flavors, which it's not. It's just a fruit flavor, but it's really nice in there. Definitely nice. Getting a little warm at 85 watts. I love the placement of this USB port here, right on the side too. I don't know why sometimes people put them on the bottom or they put them in a weird spot, but good, well designed, well thought out. Definitely worth the money. You can pick one up for about 55 bucks. Pretty smoking deal for a kit like this, and it's something different, you know, something sleek, you know, you stand out, it makes you look a little fancy. Ooh, that 50-50 just hit me in the throat. So if you want to pick one up, you know where to pick one up at. You can pick one up at mtbakervapor.com. You can go there, you can get yourself some juice, get yourself some batteries, get yourself a new kit. After you're doing that, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel here, because we're just going to keep pumping these videos out whether you like it or not, so you might as well subscribe and like them. What's not to like about them? I mean, you get to stare at my pretty face all the time, and it's a good deal. It's a win-win all around. So make sure to like, comment, and share these videos. Also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We got a lot of cool stuff going on there. Always doing giveaways, so maybe you'll win one. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time.